You ready to get down, honey? I need you to get down. Come on. Come on, sweetie. Oh, I know. I know. So mad about it. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Trying to get Fanny to move. Always a challenge, but the shoes must get done. I could snuggle my cat all year, but then I wouldn't have anything on the float. And I want to have things on the float. We will snuggle later, baby girl. Good morning. Hello. 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 So we do still have some glittering to do. So I will on our crawfish boil shoes. So we will probably, oh gosh, you're so sweet. We will probably start there so that they have a little chance to kind of dry. So the two things that I still have to do are I need one more coat of fried chicken color on the pot. So far, so good. And I need one more coat on the bottom. But I am gonna maybe no, I'll do all the glittering before I do anything else. So let's do that. I was like, I could maybe start to arrange a little bit inside, but I don't need to do that quite yet. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. I don't know if it's allergies or what, but I don't want to just be rubbing my nose. Okay, all right. So we're gonna do a little bit of glitter on these. Fanny. Fanny, girl. I know. I know. I know. You think everybody wants to see your beautiful face. And you do have a beautiful face, but let's focus on one thing at a time. Okay. So I've got my fried chicken glitter. I'm going to do the third step, but the second coat, if you will. Very excited because we're going to actually get some assembly done, and assembly is definitely all the steps are important, but assembly kind of it starts to look like the thing. It starts to resemble the vision. I can kind of look at all the glitter parts and sort of see what I think it's going to look like, but once you start to actually glue stuff to other stuff, that's when you start to see if what you envisioned in your head is going to happen in the real world or no. All right, so when that dries, it's ready. We do need to make ready in the sense that the glittering is done. We do still need to make a transfer for her, and we are ultimately going to need to make her a suspension, but we're not worrying about that right now. So I went through my bits and my bobs, as one does, and I was pulling out. I thought I had a million of them. This is a very common occurrence for me. I will think that I have strapped to a polygraph. I'll be like, I have 10,000 hot glue sticks. I'm never going to run out. The glue sticks will last forever. Ha ha ha. And then I use them and I don't have 10,000 of them. I have some amount that is less than that because that's crazy. And then I do run out. So I was certain that I had plenty of the floral wire that I used for suspension, and I don't. So we're gonna have to kind of improvise a little bit. And again, part of me was like, oh, I could wait. I could buy the exact thing I need at the glitter store, and then I would have exactly what I need. But and that's a balance. That's very valid. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But in this case, I'm going to try to improvise a little, see if I can make it kind of work. We're going to find out together. All right. So let me put my little guys over there. This one just needs a coat on the bottom. The heel I think is all right, but I might do one more coat on the heel just in case, because the heel definitely shows. And then what I need to do is do my flames. I do not have the stuff on hand to do the flames, or do I? Whenever I rewatch my videos, the thing that drives me the most crazy is watching myself look around for stuff. I don't know if that bothers you guys, but for me, it's like, oh my God, I try to rewatch to see if there's audio issues or if there's anything like that I need to fix or, I do not just sit there lovingly watching myself like, yeah, girl, get it. I'm not quite that quite that narcissistic. At least I don't think so. I guess if you're a narcissist, you don't know that you're a narcissist. I don't think I'm a narcissist. Um, but when I rewatch, it makes me crazy when I can't find something right away. But I also maybe need to it also drives me crazy that I can't do the thing that I do where I prepare everything and line it up and say, and this goes to this. And when it dries, it looks like this. And this is ready. I love to do that. And I think it makes for a very streamlined tutorial if I do it that way. But I also think you kind of lose something. You lose a little bit of the actual nitty gritty of what it looks like when you're actually making throws. And so, even though it makes me crazy to see myself looking for stuff, the reality of it is that I have a lot of stuff in here. I have many colors of glitter and many fun, fabulous little embellishments. And that is not a bad thing to have a lot of glitter and a lot of little embellishments, but it does mean you're going to spend a lot of time kind of looking around, kind of trying to find find your stuff. And that's just the reality. So I maybe need to be a little bit nicer to myself. Because I guess it's like if I were more organized, I would find stuff faster. But, if my granny had wheels, she'd be a bicycle. Like, would it be nice if I was more organized? Of course it would. But also, I live in the reality I live in. And at a certain point in time, I have to accept the reality and not. You can try to do better, but also accept the reality and maybe not beat yourself up too bad over it. So that's my weird little self-help thing for the morning. So we've got our beautiful pots that are going to need some flames on the bottom. And I've got some very, very heavy silver trim that I think will work well on this. I am all out of my silver gimp. I used it on up. I used up my last little scrap of it making my pizza slices and my extracurricular pizza. So I do not have that. So on these pretty girls who are done now with their glitter, there's different versions of done. There's all the glitter is done and now it's time to construct something. And there's the shoe is actually done and lettered and then there's done and in the bag, which is the highest level of done. So I will sometimes say a shoe is done, by which I mean all the glittering is done. And I toggle back and forth between saying done. By that I mean the glitter step is done. In my head, those are two different things. The parts where you glitter everything and the parts where you assemble, those are just two different. They're certainly related, but they're kind of different pieces of it. So I've got these beautiful girls here, and I've got this lovely red gimp. That's what I'm going to use. It's going to pick up the red of the crawfish really nice. The silver is really pretty. The black is good too. It kind of makes some fun lines on there. I'm probably going to do red on these. I'm going to do heavy silver on this. It's over in a different part of my craft room, but I'm going to do heavy silver on this. But I do want to do paint the flames on before I do the lower edge. So we're going to see where we get on her. Oh, I didn't buy more corn. That's all right. I can add it later. I can get started. I can add it later. I have all my little crawfishes that have been sitting in the bag, kind of flying out of the bag, sitting in the bag, sort of rubbing off their loose glitter. So those should be good. And then I've got my veggies. All right. So I went through my stash and kind of looked for, come here, girls. So organized. And kind of found some of my red balls. I do find it is extremely helpful when you open your bag of the little foam balls. These come in white, gold, silver, red, and green. I use different ones for different things. Red is what I use for my crawfish boil pots. I do find it's helpful to put it in a little box or a little disposable bowl or something because otherwise they will go everywhere. The balls will just roll all over the place and it'll be crazy. This box is gonna do double duty for me. It's going to hold the veggies as well. And I've got a mix of veggies. What the kit comes with now is just potatoes because we can't get the little veggies anymore, but I do have some of the little veggies in my stash. So might as well use them up. Anyway, what we're going to do first on these, and I do need to get more corn. We just restocked we just restocked the crawfish boil kit. So on my Patreon, I put up the post has like the shopping list and the links and everything I use and like how to find it on the craft culture online store and everything. So it's all there. Gonna put my glue away because I'm done gluing for the moment. So it's all there. The kit, if you've never done one before, if you've never made a crawfish boil throw, the kit is very nice because it does have everything you need in it. That being said, it has everything you need and then some. It comes with a dozen metallic crawfish and it comes with a 2-ounce jar of glitter. And you don't, are you not on? Oh, we're gonna wait a minute. It comes with everything you need, but if you get some extra veggies, you can get another throw out of it. So I would say a kit is definitely enough to do one throw, and you can buy a little bit of extra a la carte if you want to stretch it even further. Or you can buy everything a la carte. You do you. The instructions, you're allowed to use the instructions without the kit. So, and I don't think I have that video up on the Craft Culture YouTube, but I do have all the footage, so I will try to do that. The one caveat I will say is the old pictures are going to have those little onions and little garlic in it, and we cannot get those anymore. So you just have to stick to potatoes and lemons and corn. But that's a pretty good, it still looks great. I'm still very pleased with that. I do wish we could still get the little onions and the little garlic, but you know, I have looked very hard. I have tried really hard to find somebody else who can do those little garlics and onions, but sometimes things, don't what my sons are at the end of the school year, and my little one is very sad to be done with the year because he has loved his teacher and he's loved this class and everything. And like, I know, buddy, it's hard, but try to be happy that it happened and not sad that it's over, but it's okay to feel your feelings and blah blah blah. All that stuff. So I'm twisting some pipe cleaners because I do have one. I'm just waiting for my hot glue gun to heat up. I do have one of the wires that I recommend doing for the suspension. We might be able to get it done with just this. What I do with this wire, you can buy even heavier wire than this. You can use like really thick wire for your suspension. It's harder to cut that. You need to actually use wire cutters. What I like about this is it's not great for the scissors, but you can cut this with scissors, and I do. What I do with this is I take it and I fold it into thirds, and then I twist it, and that makes it strong, but I can play with it still. So that's what I use in my suspensions, nice and strong. The crawfish boil kit, I believe, comes with 2 of these in case you really want to make your boil pot really strong. So that's definitely an option for you. So I have one of these. I can do one of these. The other one, I was digging through my stash and I was like, what do we have that even slightly works? And I do have red pipe cleaners. They're pretty weak. I don't know if this is going to get it done for me, but we're going to find out. So I've twisted like a bunch of pipe cleaners together and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see how it goes. It might be strong enough. It might be strong enough. We're going to find out. But what I recommend if you're actually shopping for things and not just making it work with what you have on hand are these cotton coated floral wires that we sell at Craft Culture. These are, I think, 16 gauge. It comes in very light, which is more for like making decorative stuff. And we might not even carry that anymore because nobody really uses it. It's so light. But it comes in a lightweight. I mean, wire comes in everything. But at Craft Culture, we have the very lightweight. Sometimes we have the medium weight, which is what this is. And then we've got some very heavyweight, which is awesome. But you do need wire cutters for that. You are going to be like, "Ugh," when you're doing that. So my glue gun is heating up. This is a tool that I inherited called an awl, AWL, give it your all. This is a great, you have to be super careful because it's very, very sharp. I think this is for like leather work. So what I'm going to do here is make a hole in the front. You could also do this with little scissors or a razor blade. Come on. And just be careful not to put your fingers underneath and then poke the awl through because you're going to poke through the shoe and get your fingers. So be very careful where you place your fingers. Come on. And it's easier to get it. The couple layers of glue and glitter make it harder to puncture through the shoe. But I also think if you puncture the hole and then glitter it, you're going to just cover up the hole. So that's going to be aggravating to you. All right. I poke the awl all the way through. No pun intended, or pun Pun not intended, but I also didn't like get out of its way. All right. Nice. Nice hole in there. The other thing you can do if you don't have an awl, because you might not, some little scissors will do it. Careful, careful, careful. Same thing. And you can bore a little bit of a hole in there with your scissors. You could also use a razor blade. You could maybe use an X-Acto knife. You'd be puncturing pretty hard with the X-Acto knife, so be careful. All right, what I'm going to do here, I think, these are my twisty, this is like 4 red pipe cleaners. Again, this is not like my recommended. This isn't like plan A, but sometimes you got to make it work. I'm going to need that hole to be a little bit larger to accommodate the thickness of the pipe cleaner. And then I'm going to push that through. Hopefully y'all can see. I've pushed it through. And then I'm going to twist these together. And I think that might be enough to reinforce. I'm doing some kind of weird stuff here, but we do weird stuff in here. All right, so maybe y'all can see, I had like 4 pipe cleaners twisted together. They kind of had 2 little tails. One of the tails I poked through the hole, and then I twisted them together to kind of make a little loopy loop that went all the way around. We're going to see how that works. We're going to try that out. That's going to need some extra reinforcement. The nice thing about a suspension is you do give it a lot of extra reinforcement. So if you put your wires in and you're like, oh, I'm not sure about that. I don't know if that's strong enough. How do we feel about that height? That's a good height. I like that. I like that height. Yeah, I like that a lot. If you put it in there and you're like, oh, I'm not totally sure about this, it's going to get stronger. So if you put it in there and it feels strong, great. I'm happy for you. If you put it in there and it doesn't quite feel, it feels okay, but you'd like more, you can always give it more. All right, so same thing with that one. I poked the wire through and I kind of twisted it under. So the hole was here. I went through with the wire and then kind of fish hooked it up around. So now I've got like a little fish hook hanging on. And we are gonna touch that up a little bit. What we're gonna do is take a little bit of craft foam and we're just gonna cut ourselves like a little Band-Aid. And I do think we're probably gonna, you do not necessarily have to. All right. So I've put a little bit of glue on a piece of hot glue and I'm just gonna be careful because hot glue is hot and your fingers are not heat resistant. Come on, you. Oh, nice. Some wire cutters, I really clamped that down. Nice. If you got some pliers, you can really do some, so you can really tighten that up, which is nice. All right. I do think we're probably gonna do a little bit of, I might glitter over this wire. That's not strictly speaking mandatory, and I don't think I even say in the instructions that you need to because you don't like need to, but it might make you happier if you glitter the wire. So that's in place. This one, that's pretty strong. I don't think I need the Band-Aid to hold it in the shoe. That feels pretty good. All right, those are my girls. Let's get them trimmed. So you are going to be pouring, so it's going to be hitting the front here. So pretty, pretty. I like the red accent. I think that's fun. I'm just going to go over that with the trim. It's not going to show once I get my crawfish in place. Boop-a-doo. Okay, pretty, pretty. But I do want to try to get it to sit nice and even and look good. I'm probably going to cover everything on the front with crawfish and potatoes and stuff. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to try to put it in place cleanly, just in case. I'm pretty sure I know what's gonna get covered up and what isn't, but pretty sure isn't 100% sure. So, a little insurance for your own errors is never a bad thing. Okay, 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 okay. That looks nice. And I typically do like 6 crawfish per boil pot. That tends to be sort of about the right amount. So the kit comes with a dozen, so you've kind of got enough to do 2. I think I do have extras because I pulled every crawfish out of my stash that I could find. Which is probably not even all of them. Probably some of them are hiding away somewhere. But I pulled every crawfish out of my stash that I could find, and I got up to 31, and I'm doing 4. So that's a little more than 6 per shoe. Because 30, let's see, 31. I'm gonna make a very bad choice right now and try to do math during the live. Yeah, 32 would be enough for each shoe to get 8. That seems like a lot, but maybe I can put we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Nothing wrong with I'm pretty sure it's enough. It's maybe slightly more than enough, but if I finish up and I have extras, I'm not gonna be mad about it. I will find something to put them on. All right, I checked that my trim feels good. It does feel good. It's slightly not like perfectly curved, but shoes aren't perfectly shaped, so we kind of gotta, that one, we're gonna let that go. It is okay to want things to be perfect, but it's also okay to let some stuff go. The actual shape of the shoe is only gonna meet you so far. It might not meet you. It might only meet you halfway. Might meet you less than halfway. But part of the magic is that it's a real, object that was in the world as one thing, as a shoe, and then it's being reborn as something else. There's something very cool and transformative and like metamorphosis, like a butterfly or a cicada. We are turning sort of everyday things. That's true of all the handmade throws. We are turning objects into little mementos, little statues, little pieces of three-dimensional art. That I think is very cool. I think things that human hands have shaped are just intrinsically kind of cool like that. Okay. And I'm trying not to make wispies, but I'm not too stressed about it because I know I'm going to take them out with my heat gun at the end of the endeavor. And I do have some, oh, I totally had them. Where did I put them? I pulled out some little orangish, yellowish rhinestones that I thought were a really good kind of corn color. So I do have it kind of, I think that yellow is going to play nicely with the overall color palette of the veggies in the crawfish boil, my burl veggies. But I have misplaced them and now I'm weirdly weird about my looking for stuff during the live. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. And because this is red, I don't feel the need to glitter it. So I can just set that on there and see how she do. So I'm going to make sure I brush, get the loose glitter out of stuff before you really get it. Yeah. I've got all the loose glitter, not all the loose glitter. I've got most of the loose glitter out of there. And I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue there and then hold it. Do not push your fingers in the hot glue, but you should be able to hold it pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah, my pipe cleaners don't really feel quite strong enough, but it's okay. We're going to make it work. She might have a little bit of wobble. She might bounce a little, But probably what'll happen is that, I mean, absolute worst case scenario, oh yeah, she's got a lot of wobble. Don't use pipe cleaners. This is a lesson we've learned together, you and I. Pipe cleaners are not really strong enough. That's okay. What's going to happen is when I put the crawfish in, that'll give me some additional reinforcement. I don't want to totally depend on the crawfish to do it, but the crawfish will do a lot of it. So let me get them in there. Get a couple crawfish. Okay. The most annoying part of a suspension is the waiting because hot glue has to cool off to do its thing. And it's very tempting to just I when I am putting together a suspension, when I'm putting anything together, but especially when I'm doing a suspension, I develop just this absolutely deranged, unreasonable expectation of how fast the hot glue is going to cool off. I'll be like, hot glue, hot glue, hot glue. Why isn't it holding? Because if you put hot glue on top of hot glue, it's going to kind of like want to pull off. It's going to turn into like lava and it's going to want to flow like those like National Geographic videos where you see like the lava flow oozing slowly. Okay. We're going slow, but we're building a nice, strong foundation. Putting plenty of, and the bottom layer, the first layer of veggies and crawfish that you put onto the wire, those are the ones where you can really go pretty hard on the hot glue. I do think that is a tip that in general people can use. You can use more hot glue than you think, you know. Feel free to be generous with the hot glue. Cuz I think we want the hot glue to not show so we don't put a lot. I understand that, but we also want things to be built for tough, you know. We want things that are gonna go on the float, and it's not the end of the world if a little something pops off and somebody takes it, not pops off like, you know, it's popping off like it's great. That too. But if something comes apart, I don't think it's the end of the world for somebody to take it home and glue it back together. I would love the things I make to be able to withstand, you know, a category 5 hurricane. That's my dream, of course, but in the real world, things happen and people step on your throws. They should not. They should not do that, but real things happen, and you know, I'm not saying anyone should step on anyone's throws. They absolutely should not. But, you know, things do happen. And if your throw gets a little bit damaged, somebody can take it home and fix it up at home with their glue gun, or they can borrow a glue gun. It's New Orleans. Everybody's got a glue gun or a neighbor with a glue gun. And if you don't, I have questions about the choices you're making. So, what I've done here is I've put a couple of crawfish and one potato on top of the wire. And not only am I covering the wire, I am gluing the crawfish to the wire and to the throw and the pot. I am making that every brick that I put into this wall makes this suspension stronger. And so it's already feeling stronger. And this one I'm having to particularly pay attention to. If I use the good wire, especially if I put 2 of these good wires in, I'm pretty set. But if I try to wing something weird with pipe cleaners, then I'm going to reap what I've sown. And that's what's happening. But it's going to be okay. We're going to make it work. We are not, we are a solutions oriented company today. All right. Do. Getting another angle on her to really reinforce that. It's already looking good though. I gotta be honest. It's already looking good. So this one I will probably trim, and then I will probably put a little red glitter on this, put a little silver glitter over my Band-Aid, and I'll let that do its thing. Can I'm wondering if I can set this somewhere too. Is that gonna work? Is that gonna work? What are we gonna do? We're just gonna hold it. We're just gonna hold it. That's the move. Whenever I try to find a shortcut, I end up regretting it. We're gonna hold it, And while we hold it, we're going to look for that little packet. Oh, I know where I put the, oh no, damn. I really thought I had it. I was like, oh, I think I put them with the pizzas. I think I put the orange, the lemony, orangey, yellowy rhinestones. I think I put them with the pizza slices because I was collecting all the little buttons to go on the seam. But I'm not sure that's what I did. All right, let's see if we can balance her. She's mostly dry, but we're going to balance her there just for a bit. Are you going to balance? Are you going to cooperate with me? Cooperate, please. Please cooperate. Yes. Beautiful. I'm going to check one spot for those. Might as well. Did I? Yes. Yes. Victory is mine. Can't nobody tell me nothing. Except that I'm dropping stuff. All right. I think that's just a good kind of, I think it kind of goes with the, I feel like it kind of vibes. It's sort of the right color palette. So I will put one of those on there. All right, while that is firming up, why don't I go ahead and trim her? Are you gonna make it? That's all right. I have another spool handy. We're good. All right, same thing on her. I'm gonna do the red trim all the way around. And if I have some extra lemons, I'm gonna dot them. Do I wanna? Yeah, I'll do it like that. And you do have to I do think it's a little bit better to place the wire and then do your trim. It's a little more awkward, but it gives you a little bit more of a true sense of where things are going to sit. And I think a true sense of where things are going to sit is helpful. It's not, there's not like oh, you must do it in this order. Some things it's like you really need to be doing this in this order. And then some things it's like, whatever works. So I'm adding a little glue underneath there. Don't mind me just jumping back and forth between these shoes with just reckless abandon. All right. So the wire is red. And by wire, I mean pipe cleaner. Womp womp. The pipe cleaner is red, but where the hot glue is hot, if I add a little bit of red glitter, then it's really disguised. That looks pretty freaking good already. I'm already pretty jazzed with that. Yeah, we're getting there. All right. All right. I was a little nervous, but only a little because I knew we would overcome every obstacle placed in front of us, even if we're the ones who placed them there. That looks really good. That's already looking really good. We got 2 crawfish and 1 potato, and it's already looking really good. Yes. Hell yeah. She looks great. And she's already stronger. When I first put her on there, I bet y'all were nervous that she was like boing boing. But we're getting there. All right, I'm gonna let her cool off a little bit. You go sit over there and think about what you've done, but in a nice way. I'm proud of you. You look great. Yeah, I love to dot some little lemons and red rhinestones. I don't know why I got very coon ass there. Rhinestones. I like to dot some little rhinestones. Rhinestones. I like to dot some little rhinestones and corn all along the edge. I think that's really pretty. So I'll see what I've got, and that's a good thing. That's a good embellishment step because I can put these girls in temporary bags, and if I find a little stash of red rhinestones, I can add those right up until the ride. I can be dotting rhinestones onto these shoes the night before the ride. Probably not a great idea, but let he amongst us who's never glued a rhinestone or something here who've been working on shoes the night before the ride, get off your high horse. All right, I'm gonna put one of these like lemony. Perfect. That's so perfect. The little button on the seam of the trim, that really. Mm. All right, and how are you looking? You're looking great. We took it slow and we're looking good. Come here. I do want to angle her a little bit so she can dry, and I'm going to put just a little pinch. Keep your red glitter handy just to kind of cover up the I'm finding very interesting ways to stack things on things today. But yeah, looks awesome. Looks awesome. Yes. I was very nervous about my ridiculous plan B pipe cleaner situation, but it's working out for me okay. It does not always work out for me okay when I make a weird plan B. Oh, honey. I hear the sweet little the dulcet tones of Fanny Bryce's little sleep honky sound honking noises. She kind of honks a little bit in her sleep. It's so cute. She's the cutest. Love that girl so much. My sweet baby. All right, just tidying up my trim here. I just have a spot where the trim is hanging a little too far, and I just was concerned that it wouldn't join in a pretty way, and I would have some little fuzzies kind of hanging off where I could see them. So, certainly not catastrophic, but I wanted to take a second to fix it. Alrighty. Okay, beautiful. Nice, clean edge right at the join between the colors of the glitter, so the transition is nice and smooth. I've gotten better about doing clean edges with my glitter, but I'm also just someone who's always going to trim the edges, so if I get a little bit of crosstalk across the boundary, I'm not too worried because I know I'm going to put a nice piece of trim on there that's going to clean delineation. A nice cleanly executed shoe or throw. I love crazy stuff and like amazing transfers and really like complicated design and sculptural stuff and things that spin and light up and make noise. I love bells and whistles, but I also really love just a clean, well executed shoe. Someone took the time to like place stuff in a clean line. That really, there's something about that I feel like I don't even know how to explain it, like connected to like every crafts person who has ever stitched a quilt or shaped a, I don't know, silversmith. I just feel very connected to like the human crafting experience when I do clean execution, when I take the time to get it clean. That being said, that's for me. Nobody on the route is like, hmm. Yes, I'm glad I caught a shoe that was like 2 millimeters to within. So if it makes you happy, do it. If it doesn't, that is not something you need to waste any energy stressing about. Okie dokie. So I think for her, let's see, we've got her trimmed. We're going to put the crop. I am a little nervous about this black wire showing, so I'm going to do the responsible thing. I'm going to do the correct thing. Not correct. I'm going to take the extra step to glitter this wire. That is not strictly speaking necessary. By the time you put everything on there, you won't really see it. I'm going to put a little silver over my Band-Aid. Again, this probably won't show. This isn't like explicitly part of the instructions, but if you feel like you're good for time, it's not a terrible idea to just cover up some of the engineering. So I'm putting a little bit of silver in there. I don't know if y'all can see it. My little white craft foam Band-Aid. I put the wire in and then I bend it. So the wire's like this, and then I put the craft foam. I make a little bracket to hold it against the shoe. I hope y'all can visualize that. And it may be that you play around and find something that feels more secure than that. That's just how I do it. All right, I do the silver, and now just disguises it a little bit. It's kind of all the same color. So if for some reason someone is looking in there, and they probably shouldn't, there's no need to look a gift horse in the mouth, certainly, but I found as I was holding it, I found this spot is a little loose, so I'm just going to give her a little extra support. We all need a little extra support from time to time. Oh, and I'm going to put my second how. How did I already I just found my little yellowy rhinestones. Okay. I'm a pretty patient woman. Not when it comes to crafting, but I'm a pretty calm, I'm pretty zen. I'm pretty, by and large. I was talking to someone yesterday and they were like, "Don't let this drive you crazy." I was like, "I won't." I don't I don't let things drive me crazy. Nope, I had enough time in pharma. Nothing's going to drive me crazy no more. Things do of course drive me crazy, but I'm a pretty patient woman, but not finding those rhinestones was going to just trigger my rage circuit. So this is going to be incredibly difficult for y'all to see, but I have a spot where the hot glue is showing a little bit on the red trim. So I'm going to take a red Sharpie and just take that little white shine off of the hot glue. When I heat gun it, that'll probably buff out. There's a million things that I do that, like, who's to say which thing does or doesn't impact the final. I can't be like, "Ah, yes, this made all the difference." But yeah, it's hard to say. It's a bunch of little things that add up, so I try to be mindful of doing those things when I can. I don't make myself crazy. I don't, Lady Macbeth try to buff stuff out. I don't sit here all night touching up an out damn spot ing my shoes. But if you have the time and it matters to you, you're allowed to let it matter to you. You're allowed to take the time to do things the way you want to do them. And if it doesn't matter to you, it does not have to. If you look at that and you're like, never in a million years is that going to bother moi, then go ahead and get it done and throw it to someone. Whoever catches it, it's going to be delighted. Nobody is going to be getting picky on the route. And if they are, well, then I have choice words for them. Okay, so I did go ahead and glitter that wire. Again, not like make or break, not the difference between a work of art and a sack of crap, but might as well. So I put my wire in, I trimmed her, I put my wire on her, I gave her little rhinestone button on the back, love a button, and then I put a little bit of silver glitter over the Band-Aid inside the toe, the little craft foam bracket, and I put a little bit of red glitter over my black wire. And that way, if there's a spot where I see when I put my crawfish, if I can see the black wire, no, I can't, because it's going to be the same color as the crawfish. I did a little camouflage. That being said, we're going to have to let her sit and dry. We can't glue onto the wet glue, so she's going to sit. But that's okay, because we got other stuff to work on. How you doing, girly? You're doing beautiful. You look so cute. And you look strong. Yes, we did it. We did it. They said we couldn't do it, but we did it. I am going to put another potato right there. So as you do it, you kind of find the spots where it would be good to have a little more strength. And feel free to be generous with your hot glue. Cute. All right. That looks good. That looks good. Feel free to be generous with your hot glue, but be aware that the hot glue can only dry, can only firm up so fast. You can't just glue, 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 glue. You got to give it a minute. It is excruciatingly difficult to do that, but you got to try. I think on my little girls, I'll probably like just do potatoes and crawfish and lemons and corn, and I'll save my little weirdos. All right. So the kit comes with 6 pieces of corn, which is maybe a little bit less than you want, or for two. So if you're trying, it comes with 12 crawfish, which is definitely enough to do 2 pouring pots. But 6, you would have to do 3 potatoes each, and that might be a little sparse for you. I do not know what your potato situation is. I mean, I love a potato, but I have potatoes from all different batches and they're slightly different colored. So I am trying to kind of maybe match up my potatoes a little. So, like, the potato that I was holding was a little bit lighter than the other potatoes. These are the things that like bug me, but it's fine if it doesn't bug you. And bug is a strong word. If I had a batch of potato, if I went through my stash and I had 2 really dark potatoes and 2 really light potatoes, you best believe I would slap them all on the shoe. But since I have options, I will take them. I will take those options. And so now we try to figure out how to make it look like it's cascading without it being like too arranged, too like artificial. So I don't want it to be like, oh, a crawfish here and then next to him a little. That is hard for me. I do like the sort of, like I was saying, I love when it's like clean and aligned and like, so far so good. But for it to be naturalistic, it kind of needs to be a little bit free flowing. So since I have extra, all right, I've got 4 crawfish on here so far and 3 potatoes. Do I want to put a little? I'll put one of my little, and right now I only have one corn. I will definitely buy more corn, but for now I want to kind of, yeah, that's a good spot for it. That's a great spot for it. I'm not worried about that. That might not have been enough hot glue, but we can always add more. And I'm also going to add my little lemons. So if I have a spot where I see like a big hole, I can pop a little lemon in there. Yeah, but now we're just little bit by little bit kind of building the pour. Scooch that a little bit this way. Oh gosh, Fanny, you are the sweetest. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can put a few more crawfish on here. Getting the angle right. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And you can kind of be glancing to see if any of your crawfish are like, maybe not, you put the prettiest ones on the top, So if you have one where it's like, "Oop, I have a little bald spot there," or that one kind of that was not my best work, you can maybe cheat that a little bit and put it kind of under, if that makes sense. Somebody's got to be on the top of the pile and somebody's got to be on the bottom, and you are perfectly within your rights to make strategic choices about that. All right. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. That looks pretty good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're killing it. I'm very happy with how she's coming out. I'm not always, but I am today. Yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good. And as a reminder, we still can add some lemons, and I'm going to buy some more corn. Get back. I was just bragging about you and how cute you look, and you're scooching around. Don't do that. Stay where I put you, please. If only I had like telepathy and I could just move all the pieces together and just hold them. Is that so much to ask? Um, do I wanna? No, I'm not gonna put any other veggies because the shoe is also kind of diminutive. So I don't necessarily want to put like a such a big pour that I totally lose the shoe. But I have one, two, three, four, five, six crawfish. Perfect. Exactly kind of where I like it to be. And then I've kind of, my pile of lemons are all kind of wonky. I might buy myself a fresh pile. Because these are all just a little wonky. Oh, but they're gonna be very cute. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. So I'm not gonna put these lemons in place, but look how cute it's gonna be with just the little lemons. Yes, 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 yes. Heck yeah. Okay, she is looking great. She is looking great. We are gonna stop here on her for today, just because she needs. I'm gonna twist her a little bit, just a little twist, so that she's kind of. All right, all right. Okay. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with her. She looks awesome. I keep like swinging her around at a weird angle, and then I see her at the weird angle. I'm like, wait, that looks weird. But then when I look at her head on, she looks good. It's just the shoe has a little lean in it, and that's a shoe has a little lean in it. There's a directionality to it. Slight twist. I don't want to break anything, but I want to give her a little bit more of an angle in this direction. Gentle, gentle. Unfortunately, I did a pretty good job of making her strong, so she's got a little bit of an opinion about which direction she's going to twist in. I'm just going to move this one crawfish to give her a little bit more of a push in this direction. But it's holding together very nicely. I also am looking at her, and I can see that her legs are really gunky. Like, I don't see the delineation between her legs, and that's fine. But for the one that's like right on the front of the shoe, I would like her to be pretty clean. So this is who I had on there, and this is who I'm putting on there. This is like the guy that, I'm the meme, like the guy your girlfriend says not to worry about. This is the one I'm going to put on the front. Again, this is not a big deal. This is not like, oh no, woe is me. I'm going to throw the towel in. I'm not going to make any. I'm ashamed and I can never make another throw again. This is just a small thing that because I can change it, I'm going to change it. I made myself a lot of little crawfishes, and so I have the option to change that a little. All right. I love her so much. She's so cute. Look at that pretty suspension, and it's strong. It's nice. There are some things I'm going to touch up, but I'm going to wait and see where all my corn and lemons land. Because it could be that I'm like, oh, I see a white spot there. I want to touch it up. I want to put a little glitter there. I may not need to. I may just put a lemon there and then, like, who cares, you know? So for now, she's great. She doesn't have a little. For now, she's awesome and I love her. She's really pretty from the side. So I'm going to write muses there. I'm going to probably, if I get to the end and I have extras, I'm probably going to put one little extra crawfish up here, like it's escaping from the pot, because that to me is very funny. I could put another one down here. I don't know. I don't want to go too crazy and like lose the shape of the shoe. Like I said, I don't want to put like 10 crawfish on this and have her just be like, it's a big swarm of crawfish. I don't know what that would be. But I am very happy with her so far. Do I still have my red paint? Ooh. Are we feeling ballsy? Feeling pretty ballsy. Oh, we shouldn't have been feeling ballsy. It's okay. I will fix it. Mm. While all this is kind of waiting for me to get more lemons and corn, I can have the lettering dry on her. Because I know where it's going to go. And I'm not waiting for any additional embellishment to impact placement. I do sometimes like to do the muses in red and the 2027 in like lemon yellow. I don't have any yellow handy though, so I probably won't do that on this occasion. And that's okay. Or maybe I could do two-tone lettering. Let's see how I feel about that. Like I could let the red dry and then come and do a yellow in the middle. That's kind of an extra step with a decent amount of rigmarole. And I'm not like necessarily in lots of extra rigmarole territory. Uses. It looks good. Oh, shoot. I have transfers. I could have used a transfer. I'm going to rinse that off and do a transfer. Not today, but in general. I'm going to go rinse this off. So I think that's going to be it for me for today. I do have lots more to do and we're going to keep doing it, but I'm going to go rinse this off real quick. And then we're going to do more in the next session. But we got started on our assembly. Feel great about that. We're looking good. We're going to keep looking good, and we're going to finish our May crawfish boil shoes, and we're going to get started on the next thing. Oh, and that now I really need to. That's my own fault. I pulled a hot glue web off of it, and it was lying underneath the transfer, so it did smudge the transfer a bit. Not enormously, but enough that I am going to fix it. So I'm going to go give her a rinse. I will place a transfer on her later because I did keep all those red transfers from my berry shoe. We're going to do some more berry shoes later. So yeah, great progress today. I'm feeling really good about it. We will keep on keeping on until all of the May crawfish shoes are done. And then we'll get started on the the June shoes. In June, I'm going to do berry baskets, definitely. And I think I'm going to do some uh, rainbow neon Lisa Frank stuff, or at least I'm going to get started. I'm going to get started. I have so many berry baskets. I could probably do 6 berry baskets in June, and I might, because I know I want to do at least 2 more of the strawberry blueberry ones. That's going to take a while, but we love it. And then I have some other things I want to put in those baskets. I'm enjoying making those little straw basket wedges. So I want to do an Easter egg one. I don't care that that's seasonal. That feels good to me. And I want to do a well, I'm gonna let that other one be a little bit of a surprise because I kind of want to see if it works the way it's looking in my brain. But I have another little foraging basket that I want to do. So that's going to be June. June is going to be baskets and either prep for some 80s neon fabulousness or we'll see. We'll get started on the 80s fabulousness. I'm not committing to finishing it in June because I want to take my time and enjoy that. So I'm going to. So thank you so much. We are doing great on this, feeling great about this. Everybody have a beautiful week and a great glittery journey, whatever, wherever that takes you. Thanks. Bye.